then have Marisa, if you want to share anything additional that you sent in, if you change anything about your application. Yeah.
Okay. So I considered sending in an extra teacher recommendation because my original one I felt like was kind of it was a class I did really well in, but oftentimes people will tell you that's a problem. You don't want a teacher that it was just an easy A. Um, so I was going to get an
Actually, can you
extra.
quickly elaborate on that a little bit? Um, just when people say like
Yeah,
don't have someone who uh, who was like whose class you got an easy A and write your recommendation, why is that?
yeah, absolutely. So it's just kind of a matter of um, how do I put this? It's the college. The college really wants to see that you want to that you're willing to work for. Like, it's kind of better if you have a class that you really struggle with, but you went to a teacher and you like took initiative. You got help for it. That says a lot more about an applicant than just you came and it was a subject that came easy to you and you got all A's. Just because it shows your work ethic, I think, and your ability to really get through difficulties, overcome. Um, and even if even if it's a class that you got to be in, if like the professor or if the teacher knows that you got that you had like a D or a C before, maybe that can explain something on your if you have something on your transcripts that may have lowered your GPA a little. If you have a teacher recommendation, I'm sorry, that shows that you really worked for that B and it wasn't an easy class for you, but like that was actually really impressive, then that helps compensate for that discrepancy, I guess, if that
That's
makes sense. But yeah,
that's a
so
good point.
I ended up I got in touch with my college counselor on campus. We have a counselor on our campus who's specifically in charge of the college process. She was an admissions counselor for a while, and she told me not to send in an additional recommendation. She said that they get a whole bunch. It's kind of that it's even annoying to them. So I kind of followed that advice. I did see something online about recommending that you call the college and actually ask like, hey, is there anything I can do to improve? Like, what is um where is what are you looking for in my application that wasn't there? Um, and actually looking up like your specific or admissions counselor because like each state usually has a different set. And I tried to call before Christmas break, and I got um I was busy, and then Christmas break came, and then after that, I had already moved on, so I didn't actually get around to that. But that was one tip. I've never tried it personally. I don't know if anyone else here did, but I think that could be a possible option to go after you've gotten deferred to actually know instead of just sending stuff in and hoping it helps to actually know like what the admissions counselor wants from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would caveat that you do that judiciously. And if you do want to find out who it is who's reading your application and you want to reach out, do it in a way that's polite, do it in a way that's not like, all right, tell me what I need to do to get into this school. Like, I think you're in approaching it and being tactful is very, very important if that's what you're going to do. And Marissa did mention getting someone who has seen your work ethic, has seen your improvement to write your recommendation. And maybe think about that. It could be your recommendation letters were strictly just about your academic performance. And if you think about that, your transcript says it all, right? Like your transcript, your GPA, that already says what kind of student you are and what subjects you're strongest at. Do you really need a teacher to reinforce that message and only reinforce that message? So consider your application that you sent in. If your teachers that wrote your recommendation letters only knew you as a good student, didn't know you in any other capacity, I think in that case you could consider sending in an additional letter of recommendation that really then targets your personality, your work ethic, characteristics about you that don't come across in just your transcript. So one of my teachers, I asked for that, and I kind of wish I hadn't asked her to write that recommendation letter, because she just knew me as a good student. She didn't really know me as a very sort of unique student in her class. She didn't know me that as well. So definitely kind of reevaluate that aspect of your application.